Peace, fam. Islam. It's your brother Ku. So this is part 2 of R.I.P. to Naturalization. Now I made, pardon me. Now I made mention in the previous video that the term occupy, I needed to take time to make. That right there is a whole video within itself. And the reason for that is occupy is such a deep term. And once you understand the term and how it relates to immigration, that's why, I went really deep into going into the fact that naturalization is dealing with legal immigrants. All right. Now there's a correlation between colonization and immigration. So these are all things that tie in. So, once again, this is part 2 of R.I.P. to naturalization. And we're going to close a chapter on that. Okay? So, here we have colonial. Alright, in brackets, I have colonize and occupy. Because those are the two terms. And outside of the bracket, occupation. So really we're talking about colonial occupation. But within this term, you have colonize and occupy within it, and they're being put together. All right, so we're going to break down these terms individually to get a clear understanding of what we're dealing with when we're really talking about naturalization. All right, so we have the first term here, which is occupy. Occupy is a verb. Okay, occupy is a verb, meaning action, meaning something is being done. Okay, so occupy means to take possession, acquire, annex, assume ownership, be possessed of, claim, colonize, command, conquer, control, dominate, engage, absorb the attention, absorb the mind, absorb the thoughts. So this is all the terms that encompass the legal definition of occupy. All right. So when we're talking about occupation, you know what I'm saying? When I say things like we're under colonial occupation, we're under occupation, this is what I'm saying. Right now we're under control. We're under domination. Someone has assumed control. They've annexed our jurisdiction, meaning a land which we would once call, let's say, just for everyone to understand, Cherokee. This is Cherokee lands. Now what has happened is we've been colonized. So now those Cherokee lands have been annexed. And today that indigenous Cherokee land is known today, like, let's say, as like Washington or like Missouri or like Alabama, for example, which is Cherokee land. See what I'm saying? That's Cherokee territory, Alabama. But it's been annexed. Okay? It's been annexed, meaning it's been moved from one territory to another. So it got moved from indigenous jurisdiction to colonial jurisdiction. Okay? This is talking about occupy, dominate, control, conquer, command. Okay? Engage, absorb the attention, absorb the mind. So what happens is when we're under colonial occupation, our natural indigenous mind gets absorbed. So then we start thinking like the colonists. Give me 1 second, y'all. Things like that happen sometimes. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we're under colonial occupation. What happens is our minds, the way we think, the way we look at things. Now we're looking at things through European eyes. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to stop thinking like the colonists. All right? So that's what happens when you're under occupation. You're no longer thinking like your indigenous self. You're thinking like the foreigners or the immigrants who came in and established a colony. And now you got absorbed or warped into the colony. So now you've been colonized. All right? Prime example, if you have seen The Matrix, the second one, okay? Reloaded, right? Matrix 2 Reloaded. When you saw Smith, right? He was he was no longer plugged in the system. So what was he able to do? He was able to put his hand in everyone's chest and what? Clone himself. Make another version of himself. That's what you call occupation. He was occupying the Matrix to the point where everything in the Matrix was Smith. Okay? So keep that. That's the principle. All right, with occupy. Yeah. Then you got colonize. All right? Colonize is a verb. And colonize means take territory. Now, I got as if here written pretty big because I know the light is here. All right? So, actually, let me see if I can just move for a second. Just for a second. Take territory as if by conquest. Right? Annex. Establish a colony in a place. In what place? Whose place? Indigenous place? Because when you're talking about colonization, that means that you're a foreigner, right? If you're a colonizer, that means you're a foreigner. You came into a land that's not yours, a land that you are foreign to, and you pretty much have willed the way you think and the way you act and the way you look at things on the mindset of the people who was originally here. Okay? That's colonization. Now, and they came here and they established a colony for themselves to do business, right? Colony, noun. Okay? A group of people who form a settlement in one country which is under the rule of another country. I'm going to repeat that one more time. What is a colony? A colony is a group of people who form a settlement in one country which is under the rule of another country. So a colony is a group of people who form a settlement, right? In one country while they are under the rulership or jurisdiction of another country. So meaning we're dealing with foreign occupation of the United States, and the foreigners are from Europe. The bankers are from Europe. The Pope, the Vatican, Europe. You see what I'm saying? So, colonizers. We're dealing with colonizers, people who are not from this landmass. And don't get it twisted. We have plenty of people who are from this landmass who are doing us in, all right, who are putting us back into slavery. So it's not just like oh, look at the Europeans and be careful. No, we got to look at everybody and be careful, okay? Everybody and be careful. So a colony is a group of people who form a settlement in one country, and they're under the rule of another country. Like how New England could be under the rule of King George, although New England is really the 13 colonies over here on the American continent. So that was a colony established on, or I should say it's not was, it still is a colony established on the American continent, but under the rule of King George in England. You see what I'm saying? Colonization. And who does colonizations? Colony. A colony, right? A group of people who are from another country. Now, immigration. Noun. Admission of foreigners. Change of national location. Colonization. Entry of aliens. Establishment of foreign residents. Alright? So this is how you see that immigration and colonization tie into each other. Okay? Colonization is in the term immigration. Colonization. Because you can only be colonized by someone who is foreign. They're not from the country you are originally in. Colonization. So you can only be colonized by immigrants. So now, going back to the naturalization thing, right? If you naturalize, right, and you become a U.S. citizen, right, a corporate U.S. citizen, what happens is, this is why you become part of the Trading with the Enemies Act. Because you become a colonizer. You understand? Because now you officially become a member of a country that came and settled here on Moorish territories and occupied and annexed it. And now what you're saying is, me being a Moor with my fez on and everything like that, being nationalized, declared on the record, now I'm saying that I am a part of this colonization. You know what I'm saying? I am a party to it. I am a member of it. So now, guess what? Now you, maybe in your good intentions or your ignorance, now you became part of the problem for the indigenous peoples, because now you're one of the colonizers. See, but people don't look at naturalization like that. If you naturalize and you become part of the United States, then now you become a member of the colony. And the colony is what's colonizing the indigenous peoples of America. So the proof is in the pudding. It's clear. You know what I'm saying? The message is very, very clear. So once again, naturalization is not a process that we require being indigenous peoples, because we already here. We're not foreign to this land. We didn't move from another country and come into this land. A lot of people will get it twisted, and you know what I'm saying, think that the Kingdom of Morocco, which was established in 1956, is the same Moroccan empire that they're talking about in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship in 1786. And I'm here to tell you, it is not. It is not. Okay? North America is Morocco. Period. That's a great Masonic secret. Take it how you want it. Don't care. That's the great Masonic secret. It's you. The secret is that you are not from Africa. You are actually from America. You are indigenous here. You weren't brought over here on ships. So if you wasn't brought over here on ships, then what does that mean? That means that you are organic from this land. And that means that any other race who is living here as of this day is not organic to this land. That means they are colonizers. Understand what I'm saying? Because they're not originally from their country. I mean, they're not originally from this country. We are. So if you naturalize, being that you're already from this country, now you're permanent. Now you've left officially your original country, which is the Estados Americanos, as stated in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, right? And now you've left the Estados Americanos and you've gone to the United States, or the U.S. Okay? And the U.S. is a foreign country from the Estados Americanos. Foreign. It's foreign. Okay? So, being that it's foreign, now you've left your original country and you've become a member of a foreign colony which you seek permanent residence in. But yet that colony is seeking permanent residence in your country. So why are you naturalizing into them? You're going into them to be a part of their system. They're taking over your shit to be in your system. They're not from here. You're from here. They go to you. You don't go to them. They're the foreigners. You're not the foreigners. So therefore naturalization is not a requirement, because I'm from America. If I wasn't from America, then I would need to have naturalized. Otherwise, guess what would happen? They would deport me back to the country that I'm originally from. There's a reason why they keep building jails, and rather than just deporting so-called African Americans back to Africa. There's a reason. You ever thought about that? Why they keep building jails? When people from other countries do some vile shit and they're not from that country, you know what happened? That country that they are a citizen or a national of, they say, nah, that's my people. Let me deal with them. Send their ass back to me. So if we got so much of our African American brothers and sisters doing vile shit, how come they're not getting deported since they're from Africa? Why you don't get deported back? Why is it that rather than get deported, you get put into a prison system that's still on the American continent, although you're under a jurisdiction that's been annexed. So you're walking on your land, right? The geographical territory is still the same, but the jurisdiction, meaning the rights to things, have changed. Because everything is no longer being run by us. You don't see us everywhere in these important places. You just see European faces or colonial faces. Okay? So I just lost my train of thought. But bottom line, we got to take our place in the affairs of men, y'all. No need to naturalize because you're already from here. Naturalization is for foreigners. So if you do naturalize, you have just become a foreigner. And by doing that, you have just become a problem to the indigenous peoples who choose not to naturalize. So really think deeply before you go into the idea of naturalization. And just to clarify, as an indigenous person, if you become a member of an indigenous community, that is not naturalization. Because you're still a national as an indigenous person. Now you're a part of the indigenous community now. Now you're a collective. Now you're part of a collective. That does not. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Because that, I guess I just needed to say that one time. You know what I'm saying? So be yourself. Stay attached to your original government that was here before 1781. Okay? Stay attached to that. Come back to the place as if colonial colonization never happened. And you have to come back to that state of mind where colonization never happened. Because then guess what happens? The colonizers stand out like a sore thumb. What do you think would happen if every melanated person on this continent went back to their culture, went back to their natural habit, put on their natural headdress, their culture? You know what I'm saying? What if every melanated person did that? Think about it. How much would the colonizers stand out? How much would the people who are not from here stand out? It'd be like day and night. But the reason why they blend in is because we are under occupation. They have absorbed a lot of our people's minds. Where am I? They've absorbed a lot of our people's attention. They've absorbed a lot of our people's minds. And they've absorbed a lot of their thoughts. So because of that, even though they are indigenous, they think, they act, they move like a colonizer. And I'm not saying this in a way to be vile, but I'm saying it in a way where I'm breaking down what occupation is. So when I say we're under occupation, it's a big thing, because the majority of the issue is not really the colonizers per se. It's our people who are under, whose minds have been absorbed by being under colonization. We've been blessed or blissed to where we're awake. It's a miracle. For those who are awake right now, it's a miracle. You are awake. Don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted, because a lot of people who are yet to wake, but there are a lot of people who are not going to wake. So don't take the opportunity that you have to know thyself for granted while you're here journeying on this earth. Okay? So once again, man, leave naturalization alone. It's not for indigenous peoples. Okay? If you're indigenous, you don't need no naturalization. You need to nationalize, and you need to group yourself together with an indigenous community. Indigenous community. That means everyone in the community is indigenous. Okay? Be 100% organic, authentic. That's where it starts. All right? So, we have closed the chapter on naturalization. View this video as many times as you need. If you want to become, like I said, a private member of Colonial University, have access to all the information, PowerPoints, the curriculum books as we build, and all the private workshop classes, you know what I'm saying, hit me up, suneluniversity@gmail.com, and we will go from there. Other than that, please show your appreciation. I appreciate everyone's support. You know, every donation helps, no matter what it is. So please, if you're able to, send a donation to the PayPal link in the description box. Just know that everything that you guys all donate and help me support with goes back into Sunel, and you know, putting out the information and you know, being able to put my tribal members in position to where they can better help me, so I can better help put the information out. You understand? So everything's going back into our organization to help uplift fallen humanity. All right. So once again, peace. I'm your brother Ku. Love y'all. Leave naturalization alone. Peace.